Before we get into the video, I quickly want to talk about his build. The build is made by Together and Sanya Sniper, and originally it was in Russian, so I've translated most of the stuff to English. It's very straightforward. You build from left to right. You have some optional items here in case you need to lower somebody's fire rate or if they have too many escape abilities. You go double barrier for the shield, and your first big orange power spike is gonna be Tesla bullets. You get Fleetfoot, Swift Striker, Quicksilver Reload, Burst Fire, just getting a lot of fire rate and gun damage in general. And you can sell Ammo Scab or Infuser for Bullet Resist Shredder, and Long Range and Sharpshooter are optional. Lucky Shot, Shadow Weave, and Inhibitor are situational, and it kind of depends on game. For example, you go Shadow Weave if you constantly can catch somebody off guard when they're either jungling or split pushing or something like this, but it's an item that you can skip as well. But I would say as long as you build everything up until Siphon Bullets, you'll be extremely strong in your games. Quicksilver Reload goes on your 1, Surge of Power goes on your 3. And by the way, I do private coaching in Deadlock, so make sure to head on over to my Discord for more information, and let's get right into the video. Alright, we're back with another one. I haven't uploaded in a while, but I felt like this was a good enough replay from my friend Waldo. He's a really good player from Europe, and it looks like he's going to be duo laning with the Abrams here into a Calico and a Paradox. Calico's AFK for a little bit, okay. The most important thing whenever you're either duo or solo laning is just to pressure the wave as much as possible. You want to get the minions dead ASAP. You can also poke quite a bit with Wraith. With Wraith in general, yes, you want to be shoving waves. You want to be grabbing farm from the wave, right? But you also want to be shooting as much as possible. And the main reason why you want to do that is to build your card stacks, because that is going to be your main poke in lane. You do have pretty decent gun damage. You do have a lot of bullets in your mag, but you're just mostly looking to build your cards, and then you're using them to poke. You generally don't really use them to push a wave. You don't really use them to kill troopers. You just want to poke your opponent with them. So a lot of scary stuff going on in this lane. I mean, Paradox can stun you with their 3, and then Calico has really good burst. A Slowing Hex is actually a really good counter to Calico because it disables her 2 and 4 abilities. So she can't dash in on you, she can't use her ultimate ability, so it's a really good item for Wraith in general. Curious if he is going to buy it. Goes for Hollow Point Ward first. I mean, that Spirit Shield is going to be really nice into both Calico and Paradox. And once we are above 65% HP, we do get a bit of extra gun damage. So overall, a pretty nice item. Do get some Spirit Power as well. Starts with this 1 and then unlocks his 3 second. And then if we end up in a fight, we just press R3 and we do have a lot of damage from R3 activated. What's crazy with Wraith is that whenever she activates her 3, she actually does both bullet and spirit damage whenever she shoots. And then once it's maxed out, you get a lot of bullet and spirit lifesteal. So there's a really massive power spike. So if you are going to fight someone, just make sure that you have your 3 off cooldown, and then you can just send it. The wave is in a decent state, so you can just grab the jungle camps in between. It doesn't really have to go to the Abrams. Also using that healing right here to heal himself. Getting the jungle camp during some downtime. Healing right is just such a nice item. I mean, you get bonus HP, you get spirit power, and also when you pop it, you heal yourself. Also 6 stun from Abrams there, to be honest. Really nice kill from that. Well played to him. Yeah, what's nice about healing right, I do talk about it quite a bit, but whenever you pop it, you do gain movement speed as well. So it's an investment of 250 souls. You get a heal on command that does it over time, right? But you also get that movement speed. So if you're looking to gank another lane or... Oh, Paradox just dies there. Yeah. As a side note here, you just want to be shooting as much as possible as Wraith. If you don't have a wave to farm and the opponent is out of position, just shoot as much as possible and you'll do very good. You want to build those card stacks, but you're also doing a lot of damage at the same time. Back to what I was saying about the healing right though. If you do build it, it's technically a 250 soul investment as you will be selling it later. It's just a really nice tool to have whenever you're jungling or rotating between lanes and doing other stuff. But yeah, with them dead, I mean, it looks like the enemy team is just fighting non-stop. That's like such a big trap. There's so many players that just, they die in lane, they get tilted, and then they come back to lane and they start playing more aggressively. If you look at the goal difference now between the green lane, I mean, we're about 1.5k ahead of the Calico. So yeah, it's a bit crazy. So definitely don't double down. If you do die in lane, play it a bit more passively. I mean, it is fine to play under your turret. Ideally, you don't want to be doing that. You want to be shoving waves and being in control, right? But if you do lose your lane, just try to minimize the loss as much as possible. You have to be playing by your tower. Worst case scenario, just give the tower to your enemy and then freeze the wave under your walker. The most important thing is that you tell your teammates that your opponents are going to start roaming because the tower will be down, right? And then the game isn't really in your control anymore, but you just want to minimize your loss there. Good ult on the Calico. Let's see if we can convert that into a kill. Calico is such an annoying character. I don't know what you guys think. I mean, she recently got nerfed actually, but I hate playing into Calico. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. But yeah, just so annoying. I feel like she can just get out of every situation with her dash. The cat is just annoying because it heals her so much later on, and then her ult is just ethereal shift. But just very, very strong. Even with the nerfs, I think Calico's in a pretty good spot. Just, again, annoying to play against, especially in the solo lane. In the duo lane, I think you can deal with her much easier, but if you're 1v1ing her in a solo lane, I think it can be quite hard sometimes. Yeah, we're just pressuring the opponents here. I mean, they've lost the lane, so now our goal is just to shove the wave and then try to get the tower. I think I yap about this in most of my videos, but objective damage is really important, so if you can do what they're doing here, just getting rid of the enemy team in the lane, you just want to be pushing the objective as fast as possible, racking up that objective damage, killing your tower, and or destroying your tower, sorry, and then just opening up the map, helping other lanes, and then just, yeah, just trying to push the limits of your objective damage while looking for opportunities on the map. Looks like Paradox is doubling down. Again, you see, coming off the zip line there, and just giving us a lot of free poke. This Abrams is playing really good, by the way. I have to give it to him. He's hitting really good charges. Meanwhile, Waldo is just farming and trying to use whatever opportunity our Abrams creates for us. As Infuser has extra charge, getting a lot of 500s. One interesting thing about Infuser that a lot of people still don't know about is that if you throw your card with Wraith and then activate your Infuser, you do get the Infuser bonus when the card hits. So you don't need to activate Infuser before you throw a card. You can just do it while it's in the air. So keep that in mind. I mean, it's the same thing on a lot of characters. For example, on Infernus, if you get a burn on someone, you can just pop the Infuser after. You don't need to pop it before. Most of you should know this by now, but figured I would let you know. Yeah, getting a lot of 500 items here. I mean, there's a lot of value to be had from these on Wraith in general. Also, extra stamina is just super, super nice as well. That extra stamina bar does help us a lot. Abrams is ulting for us. I would be a bit scared here as Wraith, but with the way that Abrams has been playing, I'm just trusting him. I'm trusting Abrams to be here for us, so... Really nice kill on the Calico there. And nice follow-up on the Paradox, and I do believe this should be leading into the tower. I mean, the wave is not in an ideal position, but they will be gone for a little bit here, so maybe we can get the tower. Sitting on 2k souls. I'm curious if he's gonna go for the barriers first, or if he's gonna go straight into Tesla bullets. Let's see. But yeah, this should lead into a tower, I believe. We have so much fire rate, like it should just be so easy to grab the tower. Can we get it? There it is. Abrams gets swapped. It's crazy how aggressive the Abrams is playing. I mean, this Abrams is owning. Don't get me wrong, Waldo's playing great, but Abrams is just creating so much space and so many opportunities for us. Like, it's the biggest reason why this lane is snowballing the way it is right now. Gonna get that 3k souls, and do we see a Tesla bullets? There it is. So yeah, getting Tesla bullets around 7 to 8 minutes is a really, really good timing, by the way. If you can get it around there, just a super nice item, and I would say it's your first big power spike on Wraith. Since the tower is down, we do have a little bit of downtime here, so we can just finish up the farm here. Gonna grab the wave with the Abrams. Soul sharing ended. Remember, soul sharing ends at 8 minutes, and they don't duplicate anymore, so you're just splitting them with your teammates. So being 2 in a lane is not the best, but if you have to, then it's not the end of the world either. I think it's gonna go for 1250 here. I'm curious what build route is gonna do. I showed you the build at the start of the video, but it's always a guideline, and you can flex around it depending on what happens. I mean, he could have went for barriers earlier, right? But he went for Tesla bullets because he had the money. And now we just have so much damage, and our Abrams is brawling, and then we just go to him and we clean it up. So just really, really nice. I mean, once you get Tesla bullets and you pop your 3 on the enemy team, you do so much damage. Look at that stun from Abrams. That is, I want to rewatch that. I almost never rewatch things in the replay, but just look at the Abrams stunning the Hazel. There it is, and Abrams actually survives this. This is so crazy. Like, he's on a 7 kill streak right now. Are they duo queued, by the way? I mean, they have Ooga Booga and Obunga are the names in game. Obunga is Waldo. Yeah, I'm curious if he's duo queued with the Wraith. And there's the double barrier, like we talked about earlier. You do get a lot of value from barriers in general. I mean, if we take a look here, you get fire rate and weapon damage while you have a shield on, and you also get spirit power and cooldown reduction. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy good. And also, I mean, you get a lot of bullet and spirit shield. That's kind of the purpose of the items, right? So you become super tanky. And like I said before, you just want to be looking to shoot as much as possible on Wraith. I mean, your goal is to just push waves and objectives on this character. If you see opportunities like these when you're strong, I mean, obviously you can go for them. It's just going to lead to a tower, right? And then you're just making sure to just grab as many waves as possible. You can jungle during downtime. Also, don't forget the buffs at 10, 15, 20 minutes. Always make sure to go for the buffs. The timer is a bit delayed at the top. It's not accurate, but they do spawn every 5 minutes. And in most elos, people don't go for the buffs in general. The 10-minute one can be a bit hard if you lose your lane, right? But if you're winning your lane, then you can get all buffs that you possibly can. And it just gives you such a big power spike in general. It just helps you so much with everything, with your farm. Here's what's gonna happen here. We don't have a reload item yet. I think Quicksilver reload will be on the menu soon. Yeah, just looking to shoot as much as possible on Wraith. Like I said, once you have your Tesla bullets, you are hitting a pretty good power spike. And then when you get your kills, when you get opportunities, you just want to be pushing waves and objectives as much as possible. Because you push them so fast. I mean, if you look at how fast the Walker's dying, we're 11 minutes into the game. Looks like Lash and Bebop are about to tune in. Might die here. Do they get the Walker for this, or do they both die? They actually both die. The Walker is super low, so that's something that they can just end up grabbing later in the game. And we're back from the spawn, getting our Swift Striker and Fleetfoot. And I talk about this in a lot of videos, but Fleet is literally my favorite item in the game. And the main reason why is because it makes it so that when you shoot, you don't lose any movement speed. So on characters that I play, for example, my main Infernus, it's a really, really good item. I really like it. And on Wraith, it's an incredible item because you shoot so much, right? You have so many bullets in your mag. Your sliding distance is increased. You gain more movement speed when you pop the item. But most importantly, again, you don't lose any movement speed while shooting. And you do end up getting quite a bit of movement speed on this character later in the game. So they're just incredible value. And whenever you're teleporting with Wraith, just make sure to teleport up into the air or look to teleport up on high ground if you are in a fight and you need to escape. A lot of people just tend to teleport straight forward on Wraith for some reason, but definitely use the high ground to your advantage. Same thing whenever you're split pushing walkers or objectives in general. Just use the rooftops to teleport. Haze just rolls into one of our cards. And I think we're just looking to grab the tower here. Ult on the Paradox, really nice. Huge. Yeah, whenever I'm playing against a Wraith, I tend to get debuff remover very early. That's kind of an alarm for me, so if I see a Wraith on the enemy team, I'm just thinking to myself that if the Wraith is doing decent, then I'll need a debuff remover. Because you get the debuff remover for her ult, mainly. So if she ults you, you let it slam you into the ground, you get disarmed and silenced, you press your debuff remover, and then you're back in action. So this is a really good item against Wraith. Also, Slowing Hex can be a really good item against Wraith, because if you pop it on her, she can teleport out. And as you can see, her teleport is on a 48-second cooldown until she maxes it out, and we're not looking to max her 2. You max her 3 before you max her 2, so she gets it later in the game. Yeah, Slowing Hex can be nice. Also, when you have a bit of items, especially Tesla bullets, I mean, you can get your 3 jungle camps very quickly. Just a really efficient jungler. And then notice he doesn't really use cards to farm. I mean, you can use it on some jungle camps, right? Or he presses 1 to reload his gun when Quicksilver reload is off cooldown. Looks like Holiday is gonna grab the urn here, and one important thing is if your teammates are grabbing the urn, on a character like Wraith, you do not need to follow the entire way. You can just split push, and if you feel like you need to join the team, you just use the teleport. But gets the burst fire there. Now we have insane, like we have really far sliding distance, and our fire rate is just incredible at this point. I think they're just gonna grab the wave here and like really try to go for the Walker. I'm looking at the minimap, I see Haze and Mirage, so I'm actually not sure if they're gonna be able to grab the Walker here. Gets the Wraith ult out. See, there's a Lash ult going out too. Guess the Quicksilver reload out. Let's see. Oh, and we do end up getting caught out. There's so much fighting going on. Does Warden get the Warden does get the Walker on the other side, so it's not the end of the world there with that fight. I think Warden might... Actually, not sure. There's a Divine Barrier coming in from Holiday. This might actually be a one fight. Well played from the Holiday, giving Warden a barrier there. Also, Calico misses her too. There's too many people here for this fight. Curious how Holiday is gonna manage here. Probably dies as well. Them 4 of us just died on the team there. We ended up getting 2 walkers for that though. Not the end of the world. We got a flex slot there. There's a lot of kills for the enemy team, but again, it's not too bad. Also, Bebop is greeding for that bag there. Let's see. Do we get the kill and do we get the souls back? There's so many souls on them. Very low HP. Nice. Can he go for this? And it is a bit scary, but look at how many souls that is. 1,100 souls. It's just so much. He's on 4k total now. Needs to get back for the wave here. Pops the healing right for the movement speed, getting that extra healing going. And remember, you can always sell this item later. Just so much sliding as well with Fleet and Burst Fire, it's crazy. There's the Surge of Power that we talked about. Surge of Power is just such a crazy item. So whenever he presses his 3, he gets 34 Spirit Power, Fire Rate, and Movement Speed. So just insane value from just pressing that item. There's the ult on Lash, he presses 3, and just look at that damage, that's just insane. I don't even think Mirage can do super much here. The only annoying thing with Mirage is when he uses Tornado, he gets evasion, which means that a percentage of our bullets is just gonna miss, straight up. Wonder what his next item is gonna be here. I mean, he has 2.2k. Is he gonna buy anything? Also, he has debuff reducer. He's probably gonna go debuff remover at some point. Debuff remover is just such a good item in general. I mean, you can remove the Mirage stacks and the Scarabs. You can remove Bebop bombs. You can remove any slows or the silence that Paradox puts on you when she swaps you through a wall. Haze also bought a slowing hex, so you can remove that so we can TP out. Just a really good item in general. I mean, debuff remover, I build it almost every game. Just incredible value in general. Also, seems like our team is gonna go for the urn, so we can just hover the area here. The waves are in a pretty good state too. If you see one of the mid walkers there is very low HP, and we get the kill on Calico. Lash gets ulted. There's a Lash ult, and after this we can look to go aggressively. Holiday grabs him. That's such a nice thing with Holiday. If Lash ults, you can just lasso them and then grab them to you. Well played from the Holiday there. Calico should die here as well. There's the reload. Nice, good job. And there's the teleport that I talked about. So if you're escaping, just look for your closest high ground and TP there. He does have 6,000 souls right now, so I'm curious if he's gonna what he's gonna buy. Gonna kill Bebop first. Nice. He's on 60 HP. Has to pop the 3 maybe? He survived with 3 HP on that jungle camp. That's so funny. I would be scared. I would have pressed my 3 there, I think. There's Intensifying Mag, a really nice item in general, and Escalating Resilience. So now he's getting more weapon damage, up to 60% extra whenever he's shooting. Also gives us a lot of extra ammo. And Escalating Resilience builds bullet resist up to 40% whenever shooting. So Intensifying Mag with Escalating Resilience just has really good synergy there. And we have so much fire rate with this build in general, so we're gonna max stack both of them very, very quickly. There's just so much damage. Look at Bebop's HP just burning down right here. Should be an easy kill. There it is. And with 3 dead, we have the number advantage and we can just go for the mid boss here. Another nice thing with Wraith is that you do take the mid boss very, very quickly. I mean, you have so many bullets, so much fire rate, so much damage in general. And definitely always try to push your number advantage. I think people should be taking a bit more risks if you have numbers. And this can be, for example, being like having 2 kills on them, right? As long as you have some sort of tools to grab the mid boss. I mean, on our team, we have Wraith ult, we have Abrams ult, we have Holiday lasso. Another nice thing with Holiday that you can do on the mid boss is that you can put a bounce pad in the middle. If you have it maxed out, it stuns when you land, so you can just try to time your landing with the rejuvenation. 7 can put a stun on himself, and Infernus has ult, so I mean, we do have a lot of good tools. So even if we have 1 kill or 2 kills, we can risk the mid boss with this team comp. They don't really have super many things on the enemy team. I mean, they have Lash ult, right? They can swap you with Paradox as well. Also, this damage is just crazy. Another tip that I can give you for Mirage, by the way, is that if Mirage tornadoes you, you can actually parry in the tornado. Because a lot of Mirage players, they tornado and then they try to punch you for some reason. And that's also a common thing that they do on the mid boss. They tornado the reju, and while you're in the air, they try to punch it. But just remember, you can press parry while you're lifted by his tornado, so... Just a quick tip. Looks like our teammates want to go for the urn. I mean, the urn is a great tool to just force a fight. I mean, we're very, very strong at this point. We can win most fights that we take. And we basically force the enemy team to join us there. Does end up getting swapped. The debuff reducer just putting in a lot of value there. And I think the Paris will fall. Look at the damage numbers. And the debuff hook. Nice one. Not sure if we can get any kills here. I mean, they're just so close to their base, but we can definitely get a shrine. Again, Wraith, they're just really, really fast at pushing objectives, especially when you have your items and you press your 3. You just do so much damage to the objectives. We end up getting the urn, which is really nice. We have all flex slots available to us now. It's about 20 seconds left on the rejuve here, so I think they can probably they can look for some picks and then just look to end, or at least drop the patron. And we can't really do super much while Holiday and Warden are dead. Also, the wave on the walker here needs to be cleared. Remember, you have to focus on waves and objectives. That's kind of what you have to be prioritizing. Everything else is really secondary, and you kind of fine-tune your flowchart depending on that. Lifts the haze so she can't ult, and we get swapped, and we're dead, actually. Damn. If Paradox is not there, we get the kill on haze, and everything is good. But, curious how this is gonna play out. Warden also being very, very strong. Warden just gets so tanky, and the fact that he gets his ult off there... I think Paradox just dies. I mean, the death timers are very, very long right now as well, so maybe we can convert it into something. Looks like Calico is gonna be pushing R7. Abrams is taking a fight on the Mirage. Yeah, this should just be a free push into their base, to be honest. Is 7 dealing with the Calico? I don't know. I don't think he can 1v1 the Calico. Calico is so annoying. And there's her ult, and I think 7... Wait, Calico got stunned by the... No, she used Ethereal Shift. What's going on in this 1v1? It's hard. It's hard to deal with. Gonna grab the wave here, and it looks like our team is just going crazy in the base. The patron is dropped, so now the enemy team is gonna be spawning. And all we have to do now is just look for a final fight to end the game, really. Abrams falls, and we might have to just wait for him a little bit. Sitting on 7.3k souls. I wonder what he's going to build now. Is he going to Siphon Bullets? Siphon Bullets is really good on Wraith. I mean, she's so tanky with everything that we have now. The bullet resist from escalating resilience, the double barriers. I'm interested to see. He goes for Colossus, actually. Wow, he's going to be so tanky. And one interesting thing about Colossus as well is that it actually slows everybody around you, like an aura. It also goes for the long range there. Might go for the sharpshooter. This is a really good item in general on Wraith and a lot of gun characters. I do like that it doesn't rush the item. He's going for it a bit later. I mean, he has everything that he needs this game. I mean, he could go for something more defensive as well. He could maybe get a debuff remover. He could sell the extra stamina and go for something else green, or he could upgrade it to superior stamina. Like, there's a lot of options here, but I would like to see the debuff remover, the reducer upgrade into remover, but he is strong enough to just end the game here. Like I said, we're just looking for that one pick. The patron is dropped, so now we just have to shove. And yeah, I think he's just gonna look to end the game here. Debuff is gonna die. Nice. And now it's all about just pushing the wave. 2 are dead. Doing so much damage on the haze. Love to see it. Yeah, that should just be the game. Or is it? There's Colossus. Teleporting out. When you have 2 points in your 2, you get 300 bullet shield, and it scales with spirit power. So again, just adds to that bullet and spirit shield that we have. That's really, really nice. You just become so tanky on Wraith. You have so much gun damage, so much fire rate, and you're so tanky, and that's gonna be game. Just a clean VOD there. Shoutouts to the Abrams, by the way. The Abrams played really, really well in lane. This game would not end at this point without the Abrams, so just massive shoutouts to him. Just a really clean and sick replay. Ends the game with 48,000 damage. So yeah, that's the post-game screen for this one. I do hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of the video in the comments down below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, take care. Bye-bye.